One of the most common questions that we get asked is, what kind of wood is my piano made out of? We also get asked, is my piano made out of solid wood or is it veneer? So we're going to talk about different kinds of woods and veneers that were used in piano manufacturing 100 years ago. Here we have some examples of different woods that were commonly used in piano manufacturing 100 years ago. This piano is made of Honduras mahogany. Honduras mahogany can usually be identified by the long, straight lines in the grain, and it's often dyed a red color, and sometimes it's also a brown. The piano to my left here is made out of quarter sawn oak, often called tiger oak because the wood grain represents a tiger stripe. If you look closely, you can see what I'm talking about. When this piano was built, the builders originally took black paste and filled the wood grains in order to make the orange tiger stripe jump out, calling it tiger stripe oak. This piece here below me is a conventional walnut wood. Walnut is usually identified by the flowing ripple lines. This piece is from a walnut baby grand piano, and you can see the beautiful walnut wood has been sliced down the middle and it's placed symmetrically on either side. This style is known as book-matched walnut. Not all walnut wood is book-matched, but most walnut wood does have a beautiful ribbon effect and a honey golden color brown to it. This piece is Brazilian rosewood. Brazilian rosewood was once very common in piano manufacturing, but most of the trees are gone and Brazilian rosewood is almost extinct today. It is endangered. Brazilian rosewood is one of my favorite woods because it reminds me of fudge ripple ice cream. That's how I can identify the grain. The wood is a rich cinnamon color, but it has big black swirls that look like chocolate ripples in ice cream. A common question that we get is my piano made of solid wood or is it a veneer? Unfortunately, there is a common misconception that a piano that is veneered must be of inferior quality, and nothing could be further from the truth. The reason for this misconception is because a lot of modern furniture today is made of particle board or pressed wood, and it may have a thin piece of veneer that may even be made out of vinyl and not actually real wood in order to hide the inferior substrate. In contrast, vintage pianos like these were usually made of a very high quality hardwood core, and they had 2 layers of very high quality veneer over the top. And what veneer is a very, very thin sheet of wood, just a little bit thicker than a sheet of paper, maybe the thickness of a piece of poster board. That wood would be peeled on a log in a circular motion, kind of like a pencil sharpener peels a pencil. When you take that sheet of wood that's come from that peeled log, you have a sheet of veneer, and that veneer is applied to the hardwood substructure of the piano in order to make it strong and durable. A lot of people are going to think, well, if the core is of such good quality, why veneer it? Well, there's 2 reasons. First of all, your core is for strength and not for beauty. You can take an ordinary core wood, like oak or maple, and then you can cover it with a beautiful exotic veneer to make the piano look very, very expensive. That covers the beauty part, but the strength part is what is most important about veneer. If you think of a piece of plywood, you have multiple layers of wood glued together with the wood grains going in different directions. That's what makes your plywood strong. In a piano like this, you've got multiple layers of thin veneer that are glued together, all the grains going in different directions, and that helps make the piano strong as well. If you had a solid piece of wood that was 100 years old and you exposed it to different temperatures and different elements, you're going to get warps and cracks over time. We've seen very, very few pianos come through here that were solid and not veneered, and those instruments were generally very cheap from the start. They're usually cracked and warped, and they require a substantial amount of restoration. 95% of all pianos are veneered. That's a fact. This piano, for example, would have been exposed to extreme cold in the winter and extreme heat in the summer. It has 3 layers of thin veneer over the top of the oak subcore. Now, if this piano had not had veneer to protect it, it would have warped and split and fallen apart over the years. And you can see that it has suffered just a little bit. This is an example of what veneer really is. You see how incredibly thin that piece of wood is? The most important thing to remember about a piano that's veneered is that A, veneering was required in order to make it stronger and durable. B, veneering was required in order to make exotic pieces of furniture out of rare and hard to find woods. And C, veneering was a lot more expensive and labor intensive to apply to a piano than a piano that would have been made solid. So 100 years ago, a piano with 3 layers of veneer would have cost you $300 more than a piano made of solid wood. And that is why, most likely, your piano is going to be an exotic wood veneer.